everybody. Welcome back to Inside Fitness Radio presents Total Fitness Podcast. My name is Matthew.
My name is Walter.
Today we have some breaking news, some expose. Liver King, the man who eats raw liver and just blew up on social media as of like 2021, mid 2021. It just took over Instagram by storm and the fitness industry by storm. Has been exposed because he's not natural, which I'm really surprised
Can you look at him?
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised nobody thought that this man was. I don't think anybody believed him. Honestly, the more shocking news out of all of this that has come out is that if he were natural, that would be the more shocking revelation here.
Yeah.
But basically what ended up happening, there was a YouTuber by the name of More Plates, More Dates. His name's Derek. He ended up exposing these leaked emails from Brian Johnson, I believe his name is, who is Liver King, to his bodybuilding coach, who is not named, going over what he was taking, going over why he is wanting to take certain things, what he's trying to do with his body goals to build his business and his brand. And then it went as far, and we'll show you these emails and we'll go over everything with you guys. It went as far that it turned out Liver King had actually messaged, and so did somebody from his team, had emailed Derek from More Plates, More Dates as well, to ask for help on PED use and how to properly dose and to look over his ideas so he could maintain this illusion of the Liver King lifestyle. So for those who don't know, Liver King is a gentleman who basically just, again, he blew up on social media. Again, I'll pull up his Instagram here. It's just, if you haven't seen him, I'd be surprised. 1.7 million followers. He's the CEO of the Ancestral Lifestyle. They sell supplements, all this stuff. He has many, many businesses based off of his look, the Liver King, the lifestyle, all this sort of stuff. And, every video he's eating liver, all this sort of stuff. He hasn't addressed anything, and he posted this 4 hours ago. Everybody's already calling him out. All this stuff of him just being a crazy ancestral being, whatever that means. Right?
Well, I mean, the basic idea is that our ancestors ate meat. They hunted, they ate raw meat, and that was it. And they were jacked, and now we're all weaklings who are nothing because of living in the world that we live in.
We're subprimals, as he calls
them.
But I
mean, for God's sake.
Yeah. It just sucks you lied to us. Like, come on, did anybody
believe?
A shirt. I know. Did anybody, though, believe for 1 second that this man was natural? Like, the reason why people are so upset with this guy is he has come out so many times on various podcasts, Instagram videos, and just has pushed this idea so many times that he is natural. He's never taken steroids. He doesn't even know what they are, yada, yada, yada.
I don't think there's anyone he's ever been interviewed by who has not asked him.
Yeah, exactly.
And right? Each time he has said, no, I'm natural.
He says he's natural. Look at this guy, man. He's yoked. He's jacked. He's huge. He's cut. Not for 1 second did it. If you guys thought he was natural, you really need to do some more research into what is natural. I don't know, man. The guy's obviously not. The reason people are pissed is, yes, he said it so many times. Nobody really believed him, but he went hard on this idea as far as calling people subprimal for even assuming that he was.
Well, and that's what really got me. It's his treatment of other people who would question him or who would not look like him as being subprimal.
Excuse me.
Calling down the little guy.
Yeah. And the other part of that is he has a $100 million a year business portfolio off of the idea that the ancestral lifestyle, the 9 tenants, helps you look and act and live your best life the way that this man is doing it. So
and somehow totally gets you your own plane as well.
Yeah, right.
Your own jet. Yeah.
The guy, again, here's the 9 ancestral tenants. You can sign up, you can get all this stuff. I don't even know what they are. It's basic stuff: sleep, eat properly, move well, shields, connect to the world, cold therapy exposure, sun therapy exposure, learn how to fight properly and bond with other humans. Like, it's good stuff. He just obviously has his twist on it that people are like, oh, he goes a little crazy with it. If he didn't have all these accusations, like, the guy still has credit to what he is. Like, he does all this stuff. He is pushing, in my opinion, a decent lifestyle. Like, all the stuff he talks about, if you go into it, yeah, he goes a little crazy again, but he's saying you need to sleep better. You need to
Sleep, you
focus
need
on
to eat
recovery.
now.
Eat
Although
healthy.
I disagree with what he wants to
Yeah.
eat, that's his choice. I don't think it's something
Exactly.
that everybody should be doing.
Exactly, right? But again, he really does go in depth, and he's really, I got to give the guy credit. He's built this brand and he really put in work to it, right? Like, the
Yeah.
guy he's a great businessman. You got to give him that. And we'll get into that a little bit later, because there, in the emails, it basically shows like how planned out this was. The last thing though, that I do want to say with him is, again, $100 million business portfolio. People are not necessarily upset with the fact that he constantly denies and now it's exposed. Like, if you thought for a second this guy was natural, like, you're obviously wrong. Like, the reason I'm pissed at that is because, yes, we do know people would believe that this guy is natural and they would buy into it. And that is the issue. And then he went and built a business up on the idea that this is totally natural. You can do this. And then it is that charlatan. You're taking money. You're scamming people in a sense. You're providing them with a little bit of a scam. It's a little
Yeah. I
charade, right?
mean, not everybody can have that body without, he can't have that body naturally. And all the raw meat in the world isn't going to give it to him.
No
And then
matter
it's
how
other
hard you
things. It's
train,
like
or
when he was asked about what his cholesterol levels were like because of eating only meat, he laughed at the concept of cholesterol, like it wasn't important. And if you thought that was important, then you've bought the lie,
yeah.
you
And this
know,
is like,
and
sorry, go
science
ahead.
is science.
Yeah, exactly. And this is it. Like, he goes in depth. Like, he has the liver queen, his wife, the kids. Like, he has built this business up of, like, you have to have a good family, and you don't, this was great. It's like, don't have any protein powder or anything like that. Which we will get into later,
But he
and
has a
why that is
supplement
funny,
company.
right? Well, his supplement company is like, desiccated, like, heart and liver. So if you
Yeah,
don't enjoy
desiccated liver.
eating, if you don't enjoy, these are his kids eating liver, by the way. If you don't enjoy eating liver or whatever, like, yeah, take the pill, because there is actual benefit. Like, the supplements do provide
No,
benefit.
absolutely.
Um, anyways, let's get into the actual exposing, shall we? So here we go. This was the first email that Brian, or Liver King, had sent to this new bodybuilding coach. And we won't go completely in depth, but the part we are going to focus on here is this. What are my goals? I am the face of several brands, including Ancestral supplements, and I've hired a team to build the Liver King brand with the goal of 1 million followers by March 2022, which he surpassed that by that time. Like, I'm pouring ridiculous resources into making this happen, including hosting a video guy that will be living at my guest house and a film crew that will be filming 7 days a month. Stated I have to stay in great shape year round, maybe taking 1 to 2 years off. We obviously know that 1 to 2 years off means he's taking hormonally 1 to 2 months,
Months
off
off,
per
yeah.
year. I've been working out for 35 years. I know how to eat, train, rest, and recover. He's mid-40s. It's getting harder for the back fat to get off his body. To support these exhaustive efforts, I've recently started taking Omnitrope, the 5.8 milligram vials from Empower Pharmacy. And keep this in mind, $11,000 USD per month for my new dose, which is 4 vials a week, which is 16 vials a month. He doesn't know if it's grossly underdosed or what, but I've been taking 2 vials per week, and my IGF is still at 139, and we have the lab report of this. My doctor told me I could be doubling it in an effort to get to the upper 200s, low 300s. She also thinks I could be a hyper non-responder. I'm wondering if taking a F load of other peptides could be confounding the results and possibly interfering with the efficacy. And then he goes on to list what other things he's taking. He's taking IGF-1, CJC. So these are peptides here. He's taking test SIP, DECA, Winstrol, the HGH. And just keep in mind, so with the Omnitrope that he is taking, 4 vials, again, for most people, we think of international units when you're measuring out GH, IGF, whatever. He's taking like 10 IUs a day. That's a lot. Like, I'm sure there's probably like Mr. Olympia competitors that aren't even taking that much of pharma grade. Keep in mind, that's very expensive. That is a lot of money that he is putting into his body per month to get the idea that you can do this and look like this naturally. That's a $12,000 a month body. Yes, he obviously is trained for years. He is obviously eaten well. He obviously, has aspects of his life that he is truly living the ancestral lifestyle. But you can't look like that.
Well, I mean, he is telling people that by living like that, they will get that.
Yeah.
Without the supplements.
Exactly.
That's the snake oil.
That's the snake oil. Exactly. So, and I just found this funny. This is why I include this part. My blood sugars every morning is around 74. My insulin are great because I'm metabolically fit as fuck.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. So again, he's asking here, can you help me dial in the PED and growth hormone protocol to maximize results? He trains twice a day, 6 days a week, and walks 10 to 12 miles on his rest days. And we'll get into that a little bit later as well. Like this is going to be a little bit longer of a podcast here. Anyways, he's 5'7", 43 years old, lean. He said about 200 pounds and it's probably around 10% body fat, right? This is his, and keep in mind, this is what he's already taken, and this is his IGF levels that he is at. For that much, like these should be already probably high 2s or the low 300s. Like, so again, I don't know what is going on here. I don't know enough about it, but I do know that that is low for the most part. Anyways, I just included this because this was the next email that was sent, and I just found this funny. His coach, after these initial emails, is like, okay, if you want to be my client, this is what you have to do. Every bodybuilding client I've had, and I'm sure Walter the same, we ask you guys for pictures of your bodybuilding poses, for your quarter turns, so we can see, if you were to step on stage, or again, just a better idea of what muscularly and how lean you are and like what you look like. He responds, I have no idea what these poses are. I'm sure that I could Google them, but I would take too much effort right now. I'm just like,
I just want you to tell me what needles to stick in my body.
What drugs do I take? Just tell me now.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just found that funny. Then he asked your daily schedule. And this is what was shocking to some people, because again, he's the liver king. He doesn't have any supplements. He lives the ancestral lifestyle. He eats his liver. He has, what he wants to have. Wakes up at 6 a.m., works out 7 to 1 p.m., 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. He trains twice a day, remember? He always trains fasted. He lives on 15 acres on the lake and has everybody come to me. He has a 500-acre ranch. He doesn't go out to eat. He doesn't bowl. I don't go to the movies. This is his routine. He wakes up. He does his morning routine, whatever. His 7 a.m. workout is about an hour and a half. He first takes his Omnitrope right before this workout. 9 a.m. rolls around. He has a 45-gram protein shake. Ooh, interesting. Then he has a 60 grams of dextrose. Even more interesting. Then 100 grams of whole wheat yogurt, the maple syrup, farm fresh eggs. And then he has 5 grams of creatine, which is very interesting for the amount of raw meat and especially red meat.
He shouldn't need to take any.
No, and collagen, which is just why you eat bone marrow.
Yeah.
Almond butter, ghee, Redmond salt, red meat, whatever. Then he does his phone calls, his meetings for his business. Then he has a second workout where it's like Metcon, Olympics, skills. He takes another dose of Omnitrope there. And then again, same meal.
Same thing.
Same thing. And then more meetings. Then meal 3 is like his big meal of the day, 12 ounces of a full fat red meat. So he says ribeye, ground wagyu, short ribs, and possibly 100 to 200 grams of sweet potatoes. And he talks about that. He earns his carbs is what he says.
Yeah.
And he but he only says he does it like once a day and he has to earn it.
What's dextrose?
What's that?
What is dextrose?
Dextrose is the carb powder drink.
So he's not doing it once a day.
No. Right?
Right.
Exactly. And I mean, protein shake, that doesn't sound like, something that
Meat?
would be in the ancestral diet that you
No,
claim.
not at all.
Anyways.
Unless
Then,
what he's doing is he's taking meat and he's putting it in a blender with maybe water or milk or something.
yeah, it could be, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them. Take the third dose of Omnitrope, wait 30 minutes, have a 30-gram protein shake, and 2 ounces of red meat. This is the interesting part, because again, his first ancestral tenant is sleep. My sleep is not great. I go to sleep no problem, but wake up a lot from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. This is why I stay in bed 9 to 10 hours so he can get the 8 hours of legit sleep. That's an interesting thing because he is preaching, like, again, you need sleep, but he doesn't get it. Whatever. It could be from a number of things. The guy is a busy businessman. He runs $100 million year business portfolio. Like, I'll cut him some slack on that one. Whatever.
Overtraining can cause sleep issues, can it not?
Well, we're going to get into that.
Do you think eating like that can cause sleep issues?
Probably. The amount of drugs he's taking? Probably.
Oh, yeah.
So here he said he's about 200, around 10% body fat.
Yeah.
Stubborn fat, he says the love handles, the back fat, all that stuff. We don't need to worry about that. And then here we go. Which diet foods are you currently eating? And I do got to give the guy credit. Here he is, aside from like those protein shakes and all that, like the guy does kind of preach and follow what he preaches. I love my food, eat keto carnivore unless I've just worked out. If I've earned the carbs, I will eat 100 or so right after a workout, which is exactly, and keep in mind, these emails are from before he made his Instagram push and did all this. So he's talking about this. So maybe he has actually changed and he isn't doing the protein shakes anymore and all that, but he is talking here that he does have to earn his carbs, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just goes into there. I respond well to raw eggs, raw liver, raw red meat, and dairy. He doesn't do vegetable oil. So, give him credit for that. Whatever. And we get into this. Do you feel you respond better to carbs or fats? Yada yada yada. He says his energy is better with fat. My condition is better with fat. Hence the carnivore. I added carbs post workout for the muscle fullness. I do carb cycling and keto as needed. So when he films, he's on vacation. Again, the guy travels like crazy. So you can't knock him for that, I guess. He doesn't do any cheat meals aside from sushi, and he has a sushi chef come over. I'm like, this dude must be, even before this whole push, I'm just wondering what he did to make all this money.
Yeah.
To be able to afford this lifestyle. They'll make ice cream, out of colostrum, egg yolks, vanilla extract, little maple syrup, maybe, whatever. I love this. As you go deeper into a diet, what happens basically to your mood and to your body? He's like, I can do anything. I'm unequivocally strong in mind, heart, and spirit. The guy is what he portrays on here. Like, I'm not going to deny it. He is portraying what he is.
Yeah.
Because again, this is before he even had that social media following. So give him credit. He drinks coffee, Natural Valley spring water in glass containers, yada, yada, yada. Another interesting little tidbit, what supplements are you taking? He takes his own supplements. So you got to give him credit that, he has a supplement brand and he is actually taking those supplements. The two that stick out, obviously, are the NAC and the Tutka. Why would one be taking those? Liver health when you're taking a more than likely an oral steroid. Obviously, if you're taking steroids, it's best to be taking it anyways, just to prevent liver toxicity and, help with function and all that.
Okay.
But again, he mentioned he was already on Winstrol, and Winstrol is very harsh on your liver. So NAC, Tutka for that. Any medications, he talks about the SIP, the testosterone, DECA, the other steroid, Omnitrope, the HGH, and this is MK777, so a peptide here. And he mentioned all the other peptides he was talking about. Do you currently drink, smoke, whatever? No, maybe 1 or 2 months out of the year, whatever. Nothing too bad. But this is where it gets crazy. And Walter, take the lead on the overtraining here.
Well, the CrossFit, I mean, that's 90 minutes in the morning, 60 minutes in the afternoon. I push myself to the absolute limit. So he's always going for a PR. He's 4 to 5 exercise per body part with 4 to 6 sets per exercise every day.
Every day.
Every day. Well, yes, that's overtraining. How can your body ever recover? Even with that amount of drugs, which are supposed to help you recover, how can you recover properly? You're going to be restless all the time. You're going to have twitches like mad. You know, I don't see how you can possibly get a good night's sleep. That is really going overboard. Now, he wants to get the results he wants to get, but he might just possibly get the same results with a little less work and a little more rest as he's aging as well. He's not 22, right?
Man, even somebody who's 22 couldn't do this though and make.
Wow. We did a few days like that, but not
We
over and over and
did.
over for months, years.
And that's it. This guy's been doing it for years, right?
Yeah.
And this is it. He's like, F no, I'm dead at the end of my workouts. Effing dead. Sometimes I even have to
Well,
take a
yeah.
nap.
Sometimes I'm forced to take a nap because I've passed out on the ground. Yes, that's called a nap.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how he does it. I mean, to be mentally strong enough to push yourself that way, I don't understand. To me, it goes past being part of the sport and wanting to exercise, and it goes into a total obsession.
Yeah.
You know, which if you want to make that kind of money, you have to be obsessed. So I got to give him credit that way. He's not crazy, but he's not doing the smartest thing for his body.
No. Which is then funny because you go into here and he talks about, let me know what's next. Oh, yeah, I take Wednesdays and Sundays off. On those days, he
Okay.
does his H-bot, 10-minute cold plunge, massage, walk 6 to 9 miles, and do Tabata push-ups, or else I don't feel right in the head. And that right there is a telling sign that the man overtrains and he is obsessed with his look and his body. The facts he sent this out, and again, where was it here? Right in the first email, you know, all the shit he is taking, how much he's taking, $12,000 a year.
A month.
Just a month, sorry, thank you. And he's not like, I understand with bodybuilding because it's like you do it for a contest and you know the results that are going to come and you're really just trying to push yourself to the limit. Bodybuilding is still obsession when you're at that level, when you're doing all this. But this guy's doing more than like some pros in regards to the pharma HGH. But that's ridiculous amounts of money to be spending on your body. When reality, he could probably look the way he does, or maybe even better, or just, you know, have better results if this wasn't part of the routine. You know, if he chilled out a little bit. Same with, you know, what he's doing with his sleep. You know, the sleep isn't great. There's so many things that he could have tried first before just pushing the drugs into his system. Sure.
Well, and you know, I don't think he needs to look that good to sell what he's selling.
No.
So there's that thing within him that pushes him to go bigger, bigger, bigger. It's not like he's competing. He doesn't have other people to compare himself to on stage, but he can't stop. I don't feel right in the head.
No.
I can't stop myself. I've got to do something, even though it's my day off. I got to do Tabata push-ups. I got to do all this. I agree with the cold plunge. I agree with the recuperative stuff that he does on his days off. But he should stick to that.
And yeah. I mean, there's many longevity doctors out there now that are prescribing, you know, TRT, HRT, HGH as part of the protocols. They're doing like 1 IU or 2 IUs or something, you know.
Yeah.
Same with the HRT. Like he is actually taking a fairly low dose of his test sip, 6 cc's per week, which, you know, just cruise dose, he's saying. And then same with the Deca, but then Winstrol for whatever reason, just destroy your liver.
Because
anyways, so yeah,
he
you
heard
know,
it was good.
What's that?
He heard the Winstrol was good.
Yeah,
so I may as well add that
throw
too.
it in, right?
Yeah. Can you put that in the bag?
Yeah, right.
When you ship the stuff over?
He's got the money for it. So I'll zoom in here. I know it's not great quality, but check this out. I did Omni 1 hour, or sorry, I did my Omnitrope 1 hour before the blood test on the 484. What would, I don't even know. What's a month and a date, whatever.
Yeah.
And he did the
October 4th or April 8th. I don't know.
April. And then October, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, so these are the blood results after he's increased quite a bit, and all these things, and his growth is definitely up. You can see it's risen up here. His IGF is definitely gone higher. I believe here it's in the mid 200s, and his regular growth hormone, his GH levels are 15-ish, somewhere in there. So yeah, it's definitely gone up. Again, for how much he's taken, this should be higher, a lot higher. So that's just kind of crazy to me. So again, his name, his email, all this sort of stuff, Brian Johnson, owner of Ancestral, like it's tagged with his stuff.
Yeah.
Now, you may still be thinking, oh, these aren't real. This could be just some dude who wants to expose Liver King. And sure, until more plates, more dates, Derek, and this is where all these emails came from, was Derek looked into his email inbox and went back to May 2021 and saw that he had actually received an email from Liver King asking, I need to get shredded, have more energy, get my brain working better, but I overtrain. He knows he overtrains.
Yeah.
12 to 14 workouts a week and can't stop. I played around with peptides and would like to explore real GH like Omnitrope and others. I sleep well, I eat well, I even have a hard shell HBOT, cold plunge sauna, etc. at my health. I need next level, which is why I'm reaching out. Can you reassure me that all the information discussed will be confidential? Effing love your work. Well, that didn't work out well for him, did it?
No. So much for confidential. But I mean, he knows he overtrains, but I can't stop. He says that he sleeps well, but then later he says he doesn't sleep well. I mean, there's a lot of negative factors in there that are being stated under his breath, more or less. And I think that's got to be looked at. He doesn't know. Why does he have to go next? Christ almighty. He's about as high level as he can get. Why does he have to go next level?
This is it, man. I mean, it's the obsession. Always having to do more, always having, and like I'm sure at some point he was like, I'm going to do a little bit to grow this brand, and then it just got more and more and more, and now he has to constantly be pushing the next thing, because again, the charlatan always has to be right and everybody else is wrong. Shall we look at Dr. Joel Seedman? 90 degrees is the only way to do exercises.
I know.
But
and
buy
I have
my
to
book.
say that because that's what I said in the beginning.
Exactly.
I can't change my mind. I can't learn.
Yeah. Realistically, the people who do well in this business for a long period of time are the ones who just say the same shit that everybody else says. Then maybe they have their little spin on it, but for the most part, it's like, no, this is, and he kind of was saying that with his tenants. He is technically saying that. You go in here, you look at his 9 tenants. Eat,
I
sleep,
would look
move.
at sun. Can we look at sun?
Get vitamin D.
Is that just what it says?
Yep.
Or is he a testicular suntanner?
No, he is not. He is not one of those.
Sure? Okay.
I know for a fact he's not. Those people are crazy. They can get cancer way faster, by the way. Never do that. Nonetheless, he actually was preaching. And then it was, no, you have to do it this way. Plus, I'm natural. Look at me. I'm natural. Ha, ha, ha. And he just went, and honestly, if he didn't say he wasn't natural, I don't think he would have had the growth that he does, because it creates controversy, and he knows that. So when he goes on all these podcasts, it's like he's creating controversy because people like to call you out when you clearly don't look natural or are natural. Like, we know now you're not natural. But anyways, last little thing that we'll talk about. This was the second email from somebody on Liver King's team. Obviously redacted to save face, but hey bro, I reached out to you on Instagram, realized I should have hit you in a few places. I work with Brian Liver King Johnson, owner of Ancestral Supplements. We recently secured him an HGH prescription. He's taking quadruple the dose with little benefit. It's Omnitrope. By the way, this is June 28th versus the May 2nd. Brian has some questions and ideas about why he may not be responding to the HGH, and I think you could pull some good S out of your conversation with him for content. I can hook y'all up over email. Liver King lives on his inbox, or however it works best for you. Skype video may be interesting change of scenery for him. LOL. If you want to get paid, name your price, bro. I think you'll agree after talking to Brian that the connection itself is priceless, which fair enough. You know, the guy can get you a lot of views because he's crazy, but
absolutely.
That's basically the entirety of those confidential emails that have been sent and are proving that, yeah, he's not natural.
What is there a contraindication for overdosing
with gear?
With Omnitrope?
Well,
can that
right
affect
away.
the effect?
Not right away, but HGH grows tissue. So that's where, and again, I mean, there's obviously bodybuilders who have taken more, and there's people that obviously maybe take the same or take more, whatever. But yeah, there will be vast issues later.
Okay.
Heart enlargement.
I was thinking more in terms of, okay, if you start and immediately you're doing quadruple the dosage.
Well, and again,
it cut its own effect?
See, that I am not well versed enough to know. I do know that with GH, typically you want, again, GH takes a while to actually kick in and you can feel the results. Now, he's going off a blood test here. I would assume, again, I am not, I'm just assuming. I would assume that based on these blood tests, that once you have GH in your system, it would spike to show an increase in HGH. You may not feel the results, similar to, I'm assuming, test, right? Like you take TRT or you take test, it's going to take a couple of weeks before you feel the effect versus, okay, your test levels show that you're in the higher range, right? Or something. But again, I'm assuming HGH is similar to that. I'm not 100% sure. But I do know that for you to actually feel results from HGH, it does take a long time. And that's why a lot of people don't like taking it, is because it takes a long time. You have to put a needle in your stomach, every day, possibly, he's doing it twice a day, and it's $12,000 a month.
Yeah.
Even for a normal like GH longevity dose is not cheap. It's like 3 to 4K a month. He's taking like triple, quadruple the dose. So yeah, the issues that come with it are down the line. The Winstrol, not good for this liver. He actually did talk about his blood test in his last email in here. He said that where was it here? I may have left it out. Anyways, so he did have another email that basically said his blood test is no good. He assumed it was because of the Winstrol, which he was cycling off of anyways, but his lipids were effed, his cholesterol, everything was bad. Which, yeah, again, orals are going to do that to you.
Yeah.
But so is taking a lot of other shit.
I just can't imagine the complexity and the remembering, and I've got to take this, and now it's time to do this, and it's insane.
And I mean, like, again, you look at his stomach and it's like, what is one thing that HGH definitely helps increase is obviously muscle tissue. You say it insulin gut or GH gut or whatever. I don't necessarily see it here. He just has really, really developed abs. But, somebody with less knowledge would be like, oh, he has GH gut.
Yeah.
But no, I think he just has really defined abs and really solid ab structure.
And you can't discredit the work that he does. Yes, he is overtraining, but he's sweating. He's getting the work done. And I have to, what the hell is that?
Oh my God. It's a long.
Yeah.
But this is it. The dude, like, he eats raw organ. Like, the guy lives the lifestyle, and you got to give him credit for that. He's brought his wife and his kids into that to create, build this brand even more. But it's just, lying to people as much as he did. to build up your brand even more, to get more money, to take more money from people, to buy your supplements, to buy into your program, whatever he sells. I'm like, I remember what other businesses he has. But the dude has a lot of money in this, and he's making a lot of money out of it.
Absolutely. No, it's full workouts.
And this is the thing. He's like, this is my workouts. Follow what I do, and you can look like me. Yet he's talking about the fact that he can barely even follow it because his sleep's so bad, and he knows he's overdoing it. It's like you're telling kids who are going to look up to you and like, I want to look like Liver King. I got to eat raw liver, and I have to do 6 workouts a week, twice a day to look like him, right? It's not going to be good. You know, you can go in here and, oh, it looks like oh, no, you can. You know, he has people that follow everything he does. You know, bond with people, move, eats properly. And sure, again, it's great. You know, 100%, you know, he's presenting, I wouldn't even call it ancestral. I would just say he's presenting an idea of life that is more basic, and you're focused on connecting to the world and living within this realm that is not necessarily about just sit on your ass all day and, you know, go on your phone. And I do respect that.
I respect it. I wonder how available it is to the average Joe. I mean, yes, getting up in the morning, doing your exercise, doing a second set of exercises, buying the quality of meat that in this time, buying meat of the quality that allows you to eat it raw like that. And there's a lot that's just not available to the average Joe who doesn't have everything he's got to support it.
Yeah, you go into his shop here for ancestral supplements. I don't even know how much his stuff costs, or if this webpage will even open. But I'm sure it's not cheap.
No.
I know quite a few people actually, more famous, I think like GSP takes this stuff too. George St. Pierre. Yeah, so you got like beef liver, $34. Honestly, I would probably take this. I don't mind the taste of the liver. I just hate the fact that you cook it and then you try to reheat it or you try to save it. It like tastes like a brick, or it chews like a brick. It's just awful. So like for me, even though, yeah, I know the benefits of liver, I'd maybe get something like that. I'm not saying that his supplements are bullshit, because I don't think they are. I don't think they are. I think, you know, what he actually supports and pushes is actually decent shit. But he doing the stuff that he does, the way he's trying to sell it, because again, it's more than just a supplement line. That's the issue.
Oh, there's ebooks as well.
There's always ebooks.
Yes. So there we go.
There you go.
He's exposed.
He's exposed. Surprise. Oh my gosh. This dude who clearly was on steroids is actually on steroids. Wow.
How many others are out there?
All of them, man.
Yeah. I mean,
do we go down the list and just start calling people out? Like, I mean, Greg Doucette has already done that for us, but I mean, we can start that too if we want. I mean, we could go into the athletes we could go into the athletes that are in the NFL or the NBA, the ones that nobody talks about because there is way too much money in there.
Well, that's it. And the amount of money is what makes it untouchable. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, it's like, yeah, sure, you have one guy get popped once in a while. It's never the top guys. It's always the low-level guys that they need to show that their testing works once in a while.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that boxing is a voluntary drug test, and Conor Benn, one of the biggest fights of the year, Chris Eubank versus Conor Benn. Conor Benn ended up failing the voluntary drug test because he got popped for Clomid. which, you know, you use in a PCT, you use in your post cycle to recover your testosterone from the testosterone cycle.
Exactly.
And he got popped for it, which is hilarious because it was a voluntary test. He didn't even have to do it. And he still did it knowing he wasn't natural, and he got caught. Did anything bad happen aside from postponing the fight? Yeah, exactly. You know, and it's like you look at these NFL players or these NBA players. Oh no, Achilles blown out, knee blown out. What's going to happen? Oh wow, they miraculously recovered in 4 weeks, 6 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Whereas the average person takes 12 years.
Well, watching hockey, I can see that over and over again. Oh, he's back on the ice again. You know, it's great.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, yes, as an athlete, you're going to recover better than the average person, but not that much better.
That's it.
Not unless you have a little, not quadruple the dose of a regular prescription HGH, but, you know, even just a little bit is going to help.
A little boost to help you.
A little something, something. Anyways, guys, be careful. The point of this whole podcast is be careful of who you listen to. Don't be naive to the fact that somebody's selling you something. Why are they trying to sell it? You know, if it's the idea of like somebody just saying, hey, you should eat better and train hard and sleep well, who cares if they're on something or not? If it's somebody who says, I'm not on something, I look like this and buy my shit, you know, this is what you can look like based on doing what I do in my program and yada, yada, yada. That's when it becomes an issue.
Yeah. I mean, anyone who says my way is the best way, the only way that will get you the results you want to get. This diet that I'm pushing is the only good diet for the human race. There's an issue. We're all different. We're all built differently. Some people are great on keto. Some people cannot do it and survive, right? They have to have those carbs. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, listen to the generalists. Listen to the ones who say, well, science says this. You know, so far as we know, this. Not cholesterol. What's that? If you're in the kind of shape I'm in, doesn't matter.
You don't care.
Yeah.
Cholesterol's scared of you when you're in that shape. I'll bring this up real quick, just as a lasting point to go off of what you're saying. People will want to sell you something that their way is the highway, or it's their way or the highway, sorry.
Yeah.
And a beautiful example of that is Dr. Joel Seaman. If you're not doing what he says, you're wrong, right? You have to do these crazy, like, come on, man. Look at this stuff. And then it's great because he tries to use all these industry terms. And that's what scammers, charlatans, whatever you want to call them, that's what they do. They use terms that they probably made up, or they do vocabulary that the average person will not understand. So they jump on this. They're like, oh, this must be better. And then back it up with research. By the way, everything that he has researched is his own research. There's no other backup studies aside from very minuscule metadata analysis. And then you go through here and it's like, you know, people now are definitely calling him out more, but there's still like, you know, people that completely agree with him. And they're like, oh, this is incredible. This is amazing. This is so much better. Here's the thing, guys. If you want to be healthier, eat better, move more, sleep better. If you want to be a better athlete, train harder, eat better, sleep better. There is no magic formula aside from the intensity that you do your workouts, obviously with proper form. And yes, if it's a sport specific thing, then you need to do it sport specifically. But the idea still remains. If you're a bodybuilder, you're just trying to do hypertrophy training, train hard. There is no perfect form that is going to take over you working your ass off in the gym and recovering well and taking the proper steps to get to that point.
There are no shortcuts.
No.
In anything in life.
No. So all these guys are trying to do is sell you on this bullshit to be like, this is the way it is. It's the faster way. It's the proper way. This is how you become the optimal human being. No, it's not. What is optimal? Truly, what is optimal? Your optimal is different than mine. because I'm a boxer and you're not.
Yeah.
So it's like,
What are you trying to achieve? And optimal for right now is not optimal for the rest of your life either. And that's got to be something that's realized,
yeah,
you know, because doing all that stuff to look that way right now, but dying 30 years earlier because the repercussions of doing that, is it worth it? You have to measure that out. And I know it's hard when you're young and you're invincible and you're never going to die, but it's worth looking into.
absolutely. We've gone on for a while here. I don't want to take things too far. We're
Have
obviously
we?
we'll talk about it more, more in the future. But
Yeah.
that's all I got for today on the Liver King exposed.
Yes.
We'll get into the other stuff later. But
yeah, we should talk. We were talking about the Liver King. We don't want to talk about everything else.
exactly.
Well.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, you know where to find us right below.
Please.
As always, stay safe.
Stay breezy.
Take care, guys.